Hey bestie, put your forks down. We are back with another addition to my former GameStop employee horror story times. Because if you have not seen my TikTok yet, I had another mother of an incel reach out to me. But instead of like what happened before where she admitted to her mistakes, she reached out to me because her 27-year-old grown son, who is a diaper furry, a Magic Gathering player, and a brony, and has never worked a day in his life, told on me to his mommy. He told on me to his mommy because my series on bad customers I've experienced at working at game stores and working at GameStop itself and like within fandom and my follower submission stories really hurt his feelings. So he told on me to his mommy. We're going to read all of those screenshots right now. So I did a brief summary if you don't want to have to like sit around for all of this because she was writing me paragraph after paragraph and it gets worse every single time. But if you don't want to have to do all that, I do have a TikTok video on it in that playlist that just does a quick recap in like 4 minutes. But let's get into it. Here's your emotional support squish. It's Venom today, and don't worry, we have lots of other squishes and pops in this room. Here, that way we know we are protected from the plobs here. There are plenty of emotional support items. So quick recap for those of you who have not seen the TikTok video. This woman reached out to me after this 27-year-old grown man had left some rude comments on my former GameStop employee series. He was very upset by the way I talked about these plobs. By the way, if you're new here and you don't know what a plob is, we're waiting on Urban Dictionary to clear it, to like add it on there, but it's a word I came up with a while back that means it's the combination of poop and glob and slob all put together, and it's basically those nasty people, which can be women too. It's not just men. I've even showed videos of some of the women before. But the people that ruin fandom space, it does not matter what fandom you're in. Within nerd fandom, whether it's cosplay, anime, Magic Gathering, whether you're into D&D, there's always that one person that is the stereotype and ruins it for everybody else and makes the entire fandom look bad. Okay, so let's read these messages that his mother, his grown mother, sent me. Keep in mind, this man is 2.5 years younger than me, and this is a grown woman. This is somebody my mother's age messaging me this because they're upset over those videos. And if you've ever seen my TikToks, for context too, if you've not seen my TikToks, I don't mention names or anything in them. I am just telling my experiences and follower submissions, which means, if the shoe fits, wear it, because I'm not directly calling anybody out. So if my video offended you, you need to self-reflect, because if something about that video of talking about this disgusting behavior, like not bathing and stuff, offended you, you are the problem. By the way, if you don't know what a diaper furry is, as some of my TikTok followers found out the hard way, I don't recommend Googling it if you don't eat. You cannot unsee what a diaper furry is after it, because it's not a regular furry. It's a whole nother shit show, buddy. Quite literally with the shit part. Let's get into the messages though. Another added context before I start reading is the video she is referencing in this, the video that me and him had comments back and forth on, is the one, it's my original one, the part 2 to my original series explaining the plob that had been banned from multiple game stores for disgusting reasons. If you haven't seen that video, I believe I have it on here too. If not, I will upload it too. But it's my original one that started this entire series. So her opening message is, "You are a pathetic whore who needs..." This is no hi, no hello. Just immediately, I'm just reading this verbatim. "You are a pathetic whore that needs to grow the fuck up. Let me tell you something, little girl, because you have learning and growing up to you." She spells really badly. "Since you are nothing but a bully, my son showed me the videos of you making fun of him, his friends, and their hobbies. My baby boy is not disgusting as you said, and he is only still a virgin because none of these whores are good enough for my son." I'm not even full done. I'm only halfway through the first message. "My baby is an elite and talented man that any woman would be lucky to have a chance with. He is just smart enough to not give away his flower to just any old whore, especially women like you who do OnlyFans." I don't know what OnlyFans is. I've heard of OnlyFans, but I don't know what OnlyFans is. Is that like for bargain OnlyFans girls? Because I know the store like Ollie's is bargains, but okay. "Because they have no respect for their bodies. I saw all of your tattoos desecrating your body. Clearly, you have no self-respect for the body God gave you. She also has a lot of periods in random places, by the way. Also, why the fuck are we calling it a flower? Your son is 27 years old. What the fuck do you mean his flower? Or is it a pegging? Is he gay? Like, what do you... Flower? Like, I'm sorry, but we don't call your virginity a flower at 27, okay? And it's not because he's smart and not wanting to give it away, ma'am. Spoiler alert, your son's just disgusting. Ain't nobody trying to take it. Trust me, his flower is plenty safe, ma'am. Good God. We're still on the first message. If my daughter acted like you, I would send her to one of those camps and disown her. I need you to roll back. What do you mean by camp? So this is why I'm not showing this woman's picture, because when this interaction first happened, I was about to put this bitch on blast and have her picture and everything. Her 17-year-old daughter has now reached out to me too. We're going to get into that after her messages. And I am genuinely concerned for this girl's safety. I really hope that she gets out like the day she turns 18. We're going to get into that in a second though. It's this typical toxic boy mom creating a fucking monster, but then treating their daughters like shit. It keeps getting worse though. So also, what do you mean by camp? Once again, that very much sounds like some racist BS, like, or just some straight up, yeah, no. When you say camps, my thoughts go to like World War II and stuff. Like, what the fuck are you talking about lately, lady? So then she says, still in the first message, I would send her to one of those camps and disown her. You should read a fucking book, because showering every day is actually bad for your skin. So him only showering every other week is actually keeping his skin's natural oils on, keeping his natural oils on his skin, so he doesn't get wrinkles. I saw your video about how you used to work into an emergency room. How do you not know that? Because that's not fucking true. That's how I don't know that. Refusing to shower for weeks at a time is not going to prevent wrinkles, ma'am. Just a fun medical fact there. You're not going to prevent wrinkles by refusing to shower for weeks. That is not how life works. He says, you probably got fired for being a stupid cunt. Wasn't fired. I could literally go back in any day that I wanted. I switched fields. I'm in the mental health field now. Like, I didn't get fired. I have a whole video on that too. Like, one of my most viral videos from when I worked in the ER, we had the crazy guy that shoved a snake up his butt, like a living snake that he stuffed with him out. We'll retell that story a different day. So she says, you're going to be a wrinkled up old bag while my baby boy is going to have aged perfectly. And he does not stink. He uses lavender oil from my homemade oils. If you weren't such a bitch, I'd sell you some of my oils, but a whore like you doesn't deserve my products. You are probably one of those idiot sheep that lets them shove those needles in your arm. I hope they kill you off too. I'm assuming she's talking about vaccinations, because she's talking about essential oils. And when she's saying like poisons in my arm, so I'm assuming she's one of those that is, assuming that vaccines. Jesus Christ. It's still going. We're still in the first message. And as for your comments on his bodily fluids, he is not a faggot, so he's not going to wipe touching his anus, so of course there's going to be a tiny bit over. That's perfectly normal for a man. My baby boy is an elite man. He isn't going to be touching his anus all of the time like a faggot. You are mocking him because a man as good as my son would never even look at a whore like you. I found the center you works at and saw you were a counselor for teenagers. I feel so bad for them. If I walked in and you were my therapist, I would walk right out. You need to grow up, little girl. That's just the first message. Okay, let's get to my response. Because that whole first message, and she just gets worse along it, just a heads up. That first, it's such a mind fuck to me, because she's speaking like with professional lingo in some points, where she's saying things like anus, but she's also calling me a whore, and I'm very confused. Like, she's using these professional terms. She keeps bringing up God while speaking. She slurs. She's like using slurs and shit. Like, ma'am, I can say faggot because I am one, but like, you cannot. Okay, just like I can't say the N-word, but my cousins can because they're black. Like, she's like spewing this hate. while also using professional words where she says like anus, and she's talking about her son's flower. Her son. He is 27 years old. No, ain't nobody want that flower, as you're calling it. Also, it's fucking weird that you're talking about your son's virginity that way. She calls him like baby and angel and the one true love in his life. Like, we haven't got to that part yet. Hold on, you're gonna see that. But like the things that it is some sweet home Alabama shit, okay? So I respond very professionally because of her last comment about the therapist thing. So I say, ma'am, you would never have to be concerned with me being your counselor. I currently work in mental health research, but I also do not specialize in NPD, which is narcissistic personality disorder, or conditions with severe delusions. So I would be unable to provide you with services with your delusions. I would have to refer you out. I said, I have to assume, due to you defending your adult son's bad behavior, that you suffer from a mental health condition that causes them. So, very professional response. But I'm also throwing shade at the end there where I'm like making it clear that you have to be fucking delusional to think that this behavior is okay. That you're prohibiting or promoting, condoning, enabling, all this shit. But you also hear the comment she makes about the sister, and that is why when the sister reached out to me, I decided not to show this woman's picture because I was ready to go. And if you've seen my TikTok, you've seen I've called people out directly from their accounts and stuff before, but because of the daughter, I'm really concerned because this is very much like a toxic boy mom situation where the daughter's getting treated like shit. We're going to get into that later. Like I said, I'm going to cover the messages the mother sent me, including these stories she's told me about her brother and her mom. She was in the room when this was happening. This is about the point where she actually messages me. So I now have a message open with the mother and with the daughter. She is sitting in the same room as this woman, watching her do that. That's the only reason I knew that it was him, because I had some people who were like, oh, maybe it was hacked. Like, maybe he sent the messages from the mom's account. No, this was really happening because the daughter was sending me voice notes when she walked out of the room. And you could hear this woman cussing and screaming in the background. So, let's get to her next message. Because, boy, did she write me another fucking paragraph. I don't know. I'm telling you, this woman had to be typing like, oh, oopsie. I messed up my own stuff. So she says, shows what you know, exclamation point. I am not fucking delusional, you unprofessional little bitch. My son is my one true love, and I will always protect him. I gotta get through the message, then we'll do context. I will always protect him. I feel bad for your sons, because if you don't know, I have kids. Because clearly you don't love them as much as I love my baby. Because if you did, you would understand that I will protect my angel at all costs. And then like 17 fucking explanation points for some reason. This is why you have to do fans to pay for your college degrees. My son may not be in school, but he could get full rides for anything he wanted because he is so smart. Colleges begged him to come to their schools, but he was smarter than the professors, so he stays at home and works on his projects. He was smarter than the college professors, y'all. Okay, Albert Einstein. She said he was smart. He stays at home and works on his projects. I saw your other video on urinating in bottles, and my son only does that because he is a hard worker that supports his teams on his computer. I don't know what game she's talking about, but it clearly... if you had a real work ethic, you would understand what dedication looks like. As I already told you, little girl, he is a rare elite man. This ain't even a millennial pause. I just don't know a rare elite man, ladies. I found if you're looking for a rare elite man, I got you one right here. Not only is he a diaper furry and has a crazy fucking mother, he also plays Magic the Gathering. He's a brony. He's a hard worker. Okay? He's a hard worker. That's why he pisses in bottles instead of going to the toilet, so that he can be dedicated to his team. Now, like I said, the daughter had already messaged me at this point, and she let me know that this 27-year-old man had never, he has never worked a day in his life. He's never had a job. So my response to her very long message was, quick question. How can he have work ethic if he's never had a job? And I really wanted to go in with, I'm a disabled veteran, I have 6 service-connected disabilities, stuff I earn my fucking keep. I have. That's that is like my actual story is being a veteran stuff. But I try to keep professional, so I just said, quick question, how can he have a work ethic if he's never had a job? Because answer it. Like, how can you have how do you know he has such a hard work ethic? Because the work ethic she is referring to is, like she said, his team. So I'm assuming that's like Discord or Call of Duty or something, or maybe League of Legends. His teams, you know. But the fact that she's also implying he's smarter than all the professors, like all these colleges begged him. No, they didn't, ma'am. There's no fucking way. So, next, she's pissed once again. My two sentences, my two words have set off another paragraph. She says, "You fucking smart ass bitch. He only hasn't had a job because no company has offered him what he's worth yet." They haven't offered him 2 cents an hour? So sorry. But he is on his computer all day training his brain in his games. He is going to be the next Elon Musk. If you were a real Christian, you would know that God blesses believers who are patient, and I know my angel is going to be blessed with a job with Elon Musk. Elon Musk, yeah, buddy. And he is just as successful. God has pressure blessed. I don't know what pressure blessed is, but that is literally what it says. Pressure blessed him so much and blessed him with such a and blessed me with such a perfect man. And then she has the angel emoji, like the emoji with the fucking halo. Unlike your pathetic ass, you are probably one devil worshiper. Yeah, totally. No, I'm not, by the way. I am what falls under friends with Jesus. But definitely not worshiping the devil. But also, I don't think God is going to bless your son with a job with Elon Musk. I don't know. Maybe we can call up Elon Musk. I think he's at the White House right now, so he might be a little bit busy to take that call. But like, oh my God. This woman is next level delusional. Jesus Christ, I'm literally choking. Somebody get me a fucking Black and Mild for this shit. Oh my God. I said, so my response was, actually, God blessed me with this thing you probably haven't heard of. It's called being a rational human being. Do you need assistance in finding a local specialist for your spiritual psychosis? So if you don't know, there's a difference in being religious and having, you know, a religious structure and having beliefs and full-on spiritual psychosis. Spiritual psychosis is a very real thing. You can look up a lot of videos on it, and a lot of therapists will go into depth on what it is. But yeah, she's definitely spiritual psychosis all the way. She is talking about oils that are gonna like cure you and shit. Like, you don't need to shower, and she's talking about like medicine being poison and stuff, and how God's gonna bless him with an Elon Musk success and stuff. Yeah, that's spiritual psychosis. Okay, so her response is, "That's it, you fucking little whore. I'm done with you speaking to me so fucking disrespectfully," with like 50 exclamation points again. "I'm your elder. Did your parents not teach you any fucking manners? They are the failures here. What is your boss's name? I'm sure he would love to see how you speak to people." And I'm not going to read off my last message because I gave her Dr. P's information because he follows me. He's fully aware of the situation. He's fully aware of the content I make because I make my content on TikTok and use the money off of it to donate to the domestic violence shelter I volunteer with. And I also started this YouTube channel so that I could get enough to I'm trying to monetize so I can get enough money to open a local Battle Buddies chapter, which if you don't know, Battle Buddies is a program that works to help veterans in crisis because the VA does not give a shit about us. So like my boss is fully aware of my social media. Like, dude, also you gotta keep in mind my boss has 2 PhDs and has been in the mental health field for decades. He's been in mental health research for a long time. He's seen it all, okay? He is fully aware of people like this, okay? And I had a very professional, like, I read them off to you. I've showed screenshots on TikTok and stuff because I don't know how to edit that on here. I do apologize. I do finally have a ring light. But I'm still learning, like, editing software to be able to, like, green screen it onto here while reading it because it's a pain in the butt. Like, I'm even filming this from like the TikTok app and I'm downloading it and putting it together. But let's get into the sisters' messages. For privacy, I will not play the audio clips, but I did the little translator thing where it like reads it off to you. Okay, so I'm gonna summarize this up. I'm gonna keep names for privacy. So we're gonna name the mother Karen to make the story less confusing. The mother's gonna be named Karen. The son is gonna be, we're gonna call him Tim because I'm pretty sure he's got a tiny one down there. From what he's fucking out here doing. She explains to me, she's like, I would like to apologize for my mother's behavior. I'm currently sitting in the room with her when she's doing this. I've seen your TikToks, and my brother has been this way for years. He is an exact example of all of your GameStop horror story times. If you don't mind, I can share some of them with you. So she sends a voice clip after that, and she's like, hey, like, I just want to let you know, like, I don't condone any of this stuff that's going on, and whatnot. She tells me about it. And so then she starts telling me about the stories of it. So the mother in this situation, her precious baby angel has never worked or anything like that. The daughter is 17. These kids are 10 years apart. And she has certain expectations for her daughter that she's never had for her son. Her daughter has explained to me that when she turns 18, the mother expects her to pay $1,100 a month in rent. And I looked up their home value because I have their address she gave to me. And I was able to look up their mortgage. And like, because it tells you how much that, so I don't know their exact mortgage or anything like that, but if you know somebody's address and the house has been bought and is not rented, you can actually look up what the sale price was. So I know how much they pay for this house. I know the estimated mortgage that is on it. And $1,100 is basically the entire mortgage. So this grown woman who is babying the 27-year-old man, her 27-year-old son, is wanting her 17-year-old daughter the day she turns 18 to pay their full mortgage or move out. She said she already has to pay for she had to pay for her own prom dress. She's going to have to because prom's coming up. She's explained that like for him, the mother's provided everything, but the daughter is having to do everything herself. She said for years now, she said this poor little girl has explained to me that she has never had a birthday party since she was like 5. She said she had little ones when she was a kid, and after that, her brother's the only person who's ever gotten a birthday party since that. Like, he gets a birthday party every single year, and she does not get one unless she, like, pays to go out with her friends. She said when she started working at 16, would go out to her friends and stuff. And I do believe she probably will get her kicked out, and I've told her, I'm not in that area, I don't really know anybody in that area. I'm usually not comfortable with, like, minors messaging me in any form because I don't want them to think that, like, just because I'm a safe person to be messaging, that every content creator because there's a lot of predators out there. Like, I don't want them that false sense of safety where they, message another creator thinking that it's going to be safe and it's not, So, but I was like, if there's anything I can do to, like, assist or whatever, she said she is speaking to a friend about possibly moving in when she turns 18, like the night she turns 18 and stuff. But I don't want to go into too much more detail on her situation just because I don't know how this mother's going to react. Because clearly her son watches my content. I mean, the stuff with the mental health center that he's referring to, that was in 2019. That's how long this man has been stalking my fucking page. Like, or how far he went back, right? How far he went back on my TikTok. Because I haven't spoken about that since 2019. So she sent me some stories about him though. So once again, yes, the diaper furry thing, which if you don't know what that is, don't eat while you go Google it, buddy, because it's going to be bad. Furries hate them. Okay. The rest of the fandom hates them, because they're disgusting. He apparently is a baby diaper furry too, which baby furries by themselves are already problematic. Those are the pedos, like the ones that fantasize about children. Once again, the rest of the furry fandom wants nothing to do with them for a good reason. So he is a diaper furry and he is a baby furry combination. He wears a diaper on the outside of his furry costume, but he also wears one while wearing it and regularly shits his pants as part of the experience. She said he has had multiple complaints and he was escorted out of one furry convention because of his disgusting behavior and how he likes to, when he's in the suit, will like force role play on strangers at these cons, which I've had my own incident with somebody like that. I'm not a furry, but like at an anime convention I was guesting at, I had somebody within the My Hero Academia fandom. Oh God, if you were on my TikTok back then and you know the story time of that Bakugo cosplayer that got really creepy with me because I was dressed as Kirishima and they were trying to like for ship stuff, and it was fucking weird. I'm like, I don't even know your name. I have no idea who you are. They just came to cons. So apparently this guy was one of those people and was coming up to people cons, being inappropriate and stuff, with like the weird role play, trying to get them to role play with him. Without like hi, hello, nothing, just immediately like trying to role play in the fursonas, which just that happens. A lot of us have had to deal with crap like that. She said he also is no longer welcome at the local Magic the Gathering Friday nights. So Friday Night Magic, because he is the smell. They said because of hygiene problems, and he was leaving streaks on the toilet seat. How the fuck are you shitting on the toilet seat, sir? Like she said it happened several weeks in a row. So, are you squatting over the toilet instead of sitting on it? Like, what are you doing that your streaks? She said that the streaks were all the way at the back of the toilet at one point, and the store was complaining about it. What the fuck are you doing? Hold on, let me try this out. Like, this is what I imagine this man doing. Like this? Is he like on the toilet? Like, what the fuck are you doing? How are you getting streaks all over the toilet? Every time. Like, it's one thing if you had like a bathroom emergency once, but like every time? What the fuck is wrong with you? She then explains to me that he is also obsessed with Rarity from My Little Pony. He is in the brony fandom. Now, he has never been to any big events, but he has gone to like local groups, and she said she doesn't have a lot of information about like how those local groups go for him, but she does know that he has carried for the last 4 years the same Rarity pony. She's talking about like a little figure. She said he's carried the same Rarity pony for the last 4 years, every single place he goes. And the butt portion of the pony has the paint of on the pony. So like the paint part of a collectible is completely rubbed off, because he chronically sits there and rubs on it whenever he is just sitting by himself or in a room. If he's not doing something with his hands, he typically has the Rarity pony in his hands and is rubbing on its butt. He often whispers down into it and pulls it up to his face, even when we're in public spaces. I was bullied by several classmates, so she was bullied, who had seen him out at the public mall, out in public at the mall when he was doing this in the middle of the food court. We had stopped to get food, and he had sat down with me at that table and started rubbing onto this pony and whispering at it. This little girl is getting bullied because of this disgusting man. So while reading the part about the fucking Rarity, all I could think about is the fucking jar, the Rainbow Dash jar. And if you've never seen that, once again, don't eat when you Google it, because it's a guy who jerked off into a jar with a Rainbow Dash figure in the jar and kept it. Somebody even made a cosplay of it a few months ago. I saw it. Somebody made a cosplay of it, took it to a con at AWA. It was AWA. Lord, what pisses me off the most about this entire situation is, once again, if you're watching this, you should, to Karen, or if the son is watching this, because he stalks my content apparently, like, you pulled shit up from 2019, you were scrolling hard. So, because I post like 3-4 times a day on TikTok, so like, that's a lot of videos. But I do want to say to them, if you're watching this, you better start treating your daughter right, because the second she leaves that house, I will be putting your face up on TikTok. I will be putting your face. I'm not going to do your address because that's doxing, but I'll put your face up. As you've seen, and if you don't believe me, go scroll. I'm sure he's seen it already. I'm sure your son has seen it already, because I've put multiple people's faces up in pictures. I have no problem doing that, but because of the daughter situation, especially because she's talked about how she's gotten bullied for his behavior, which is disgusting. And it's really sad, because the only person who should be getting bullied is his ass. Bullied into fucking taking a shower and growing the fuck up. The saddest part about this is, if you've seen my other video, I had a self-proclaimed incel who's also in the same age group. I don't know what the heck that happened. Well, he's not now, but that was her breaking point, was when he was in the same age group. But I had a self-proclaimed incel, the mother of a self-proclaimed incel, reach out to me, and she talked about all of her regrets and shared her story to share, like, so that other parents didn't make the same mistakes that she did. The problem is, most of these moms are like the one that I just read off of. Those are the kind of messages. Those are how they behave. These mothers, there is a pipeline between it's like pick me in school. The pick me girls become these toxic incestual boy moms. Emotional incest is a real thing. You can look it up. And then because of that, these guys become these plobs, as we call them. They become these nasty, gross, they narcissistic, think they can't do anything wrong, pieces of shit men. There is a pipeline there. It goes pick me girl, toxic boy mom, incel. Like, it is a straight fucking shoot. And it's so frustrating, especially because I've encountered moms like this. I have 2 sons, and it is really hard to make friends because there are a lot of boy moms that act like this. Unfortunately, not just with the plob stuff, but also trying to justify like their son's bad behavior. I had a situation, if you haven't seen that video, where my son got into a physical altercation with another boy who was groping little girls. The kid was 13. He was running around the park groping like 10 and 12-year-old girls, like 10 and 11, 12-year-old girls who were in the park. And my 9-year-old beat his ass because he wouldn't stop. And whenever, like, even though the parents of the dads and the moms of these little girls kept saying, hey, that's sexual assault. You need to teach your little fucking freaky kid to stop. And the mom got mad at me and was like, why didn't you stop your son from beating up my son? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, because he did something wrong and he wouldn't keep his fucking hands to himself. And my son is taught to do the right thing. Baby, I created a miniature version of me. Like, that was a copy and paste. And she said, yeah, he's not doing anything wrong. That's not sexual assault. He's just boys will be boys. Boys will be boys. That was her fucking argument. Oh, he probably just likes them. No, he's over here molesting little girls in the park and open, and you're justifying it. Like, because he's groping them and stuff. Yeah, no. If he's doing that as a preteen, barely teenager, it's going to just get worse from there. And there are so many out there, though, that condone this behavior. And it is a serious fucking issue. It sucks. But it's also why I am such a strong advocate for we need to start holding parents accountable when these young men do these horrible things. For example, things like school shootings. I'm really glad that the last couple that have happened have had the parents held responsible. I'm sad that there's so many and that there's more happening. But when you look at situations like Columbine and stuff, where the mother of one of the shooters has made a shit ton of money off of it and acts, even though if you read her memoirs and like his memoir and everything, like his manifesto, the mother was ignoring the signs on purpose. The mother enabled that shit, okay? And she should be rotten behind bars somewhere. But instead, she's going on TED Talks and making money and all this shit. But these parents that enable it, and like I said, there are women like this too. There are women who will, become female plobs that have dads that are enablers or grandparents are enablers. It doesn't really matter. It's not a gender thing. And once again, I've had people within fandom space who are like, you're in fandom space and you're making us look bad by talking about these. No, quite the opposite. Because to the outside world, if you are not in some sort of fandom, to the outside world, we get stereotyped because of these guys. And honey, if the call is coming from inside of the house, it's smarter to have somebody who lives there and knows who's in the house to answer that call than a random stranger to come off the street and try to answer it. Especially because a lot of these guys, when they're called out on this behavior, and a lot of these women do the same thing, when they're called out on the bad behavior, their response is, oh, you're just bullying me. And they'll rationalize it in their head that, oh, I'm just being bullied, so there's nothing wrong with it. But when it's somebody within that fandom that they're into starts calling them on their shit, they can't use that as an excuse anymore. They can't be like, oh, you're bullying me because I'm a nerd. Because guess what, bitch? So am I. There's no fucking excuse. I feel so bad for this little girl. The mother pisses Karen pisses me off so badly. Well, I apologize for taking up so much of your time. Just hold your emotional support, Venom, extra close. Like I said, I'm still learning editing software. I did get the ring light, obviously, and I have a microphone on the way that was recommended to me by one of my mutuals that's a big streamer person. So I have that. And I'm going to learn editing software so that I can show stuff on this, like the pop-ups, where you pop up, I see creators do that. They pop it up on the screen so you can read along with and stuff. I don't know how to do all that fancy stuff yet, but I will figure it out. So I will see